How to beat each body type in a fight. If you ever had to defend yourself, would a taller or stronger opponent automatically have the advantage? Not always. Different body types have different strengths and weaknesses. Understanding them may help you react smarter and stay safer if a confrontation ever happens. In this video, we'll talk about how different body types can influence movement, reach, balance, and speed in a fight. You'll learn simple self-defense ideas that focus on awareness, positioning, and control. By the end, you'll better understand how body differences may affect strategy and safety. First, an important reminder. Before we begin, it's important to say something clearly. The goal of self-defense is not to fight whenever possible. The safest option is always to avoid conflict or leave the situation. These tips are meant for understanding body mechanics and basic self-defense awareness, not encouraging violence. If you ever face a dangerous situation, creating distance and getting to safety should always come first. With that in mind, let's talk about body types. Why body type matters in a fight. Every person's body is built differently. Some people are tall with long arms. Others are shorter but stronger. Some people move quickly, while others rely on power. Body type can influence reach, balance, speed, strength, endurance. In martial arts and sports like boxing or wrestling, fighters often adjust their strategy based on these differences. Understanding this idea may help someone stay calm and think more clearly in a stressful situation. Body type 1, the tall opponent. Let's start with tall opponents. Tall people often have longer reach. This means they can sometimes strike or grab from farther away. In sports like boxing, reach can be a big advantage. But taller fighters may also have some challenges. Because their center of gravity is higher, balance can sometimes be easier to disrupt if someone gets close. That's why in many martial arts, shorter fighters often try to move inside the reach of a taller opponent. Imagine standing very close to someone with long arms. Their reach advantage becomes smaller because there isn't much space for large movements. Of course, getting close must be done carefully and safely. In self-defense training, instructors often emphasize movement and positioning, not strength. Body type 2, the shorter but stocky opponent. Now let's look at someone who is shorter but more solidly built. These individuals sometimes have strong lower body stability. A lower center of gravity can make them harder to push or knock off balance. In wrestling and judo, this body structure can be helpful for grappling. But shorter reach may make it harder to strike from a distance. So a person with this body type may try to move closer and use body weight and leverage. In this case, maintaining distance and mobility may be important. Footwork often becomes a key factor. In many self-defense classes, people practice stepping sideways, pivoting, and creating space rather than standing still. Body type 3, the very muscular opponent. Some people rely heavily on strength. A muscular opponent may have powerful strikes or strong grips, but strength can sometimes come with trade-offs. Large muscle mass may reduce endurance or speed in certain situations. That doesn't mean the person is slow, but sustained movement can sometimes become tiring. In martial arts, fighters often deal with stronger opponents by focusing on timing and angles rather than direct force. Think of it like moving around a heavy object instead of pushing directly against it. This concept appears in martial arts like judo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and Aikido, where leverage is often more important than raw strength. Body type 4, the fast and agile opponent. Some people are naturally quick. They may move lightly, change direction fast, and react quickly. Speed can make them difficult to predict, but very fast fighters sometimes rely heavily on movement. If they lose balance or overextend during an attack, that moment may create an opportunity to step away or regain control of the situation. Many self-defense instructors emphasize staying calm and watching movement, rather than reacting too quickly. Sometimes waiting half a second can provide valuable information about the opponent's next move. A simple example. Imagine two people in a martial arts training class. One is tall with long arms. The other is shorter and more compact. During sparring practice, the taller student tries to keep distance using reach, but the shorter student uses quick footwork to move closer. Neither strategy is perfect on its own. Both students must adapt, observe, and adjust their movements. This is why experienced martial artists often say that strategy matters as much as physical strength. Skills that matter more than body type. Interestingly, many self-defense experts agree that certain skills are often more important than body size. Let's look at a few. Awareness. Many dangerous situations can be avoided by noticing warning signs early. Paying attention to surroundings may help someone leave before conflict begins. Balance. Good balance helps maintain control of your own body. Many martial arts spend years training this skill. Movement footwork allows someone to create space or avoid danger. Sometimes stepping away at the right moment is the safest option. Calm thinking. Stress can make people panic. Practicing controlled breathing and staying focused may help someone react more clearly. Quick question for you. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how athletes with very different body types can still perform extremely well? Boxers, wrestlers, and martial artists often prove that skill and strategy can matter just as much as size. Everyone's body has strengths. Learning how to use those strengths can be more important than comparing body shapes. The role of training. Many people assume fighting ability comes from natural strength, but in reality, training often plays a bigger role. Martial arts like boxing, judo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, karate, wrestling, all teach techniques designed to work against different body types. For example, judo often focuses on using an opponent's momentum. Brazilian jiu-jitsu focuses on leverage and positioning. These systems exist because people throughout history needed ways to defend themselves against larger or stronger opponents. The most important, self-defense strategy. While techniques can help, the most important strategy is still avoidance. Final thoughts. Human bodies come in many shapes and sizes. Each type has strengths and challenges. Learning about movement, balance, and strategy can help people understand self-defense better. But the true goal of self-defense is not winning fights. It is staying safe and making smart decisions in difficult moments. Soft call to action. If you found this video helpful, consider giving it a like. Subscribe for more simple explanations about fitness, self-defense, and human performance. And if you're curious about basic self-defense moves beginners can learn, check out the next video on your screen.